no guarantee. Fox News' White House correspondent Peter Doocy is at the White House as usual with more. Peter, you have breaking news this morning.
Yeah, that President Biden is likely to sign an executive order that would limit illegal border crossings by the end of this month. That is according to a report in Axios that is also detailing this new fight in the West Wing among Biden staffers who don't want to lock the border down the way that Trump did because they think it's inhumane, and between Biden staffers who see the polls and they can see that they are getting clobbered here at the White House by Republicans on the issue of immigration and the border. It seems, according to this report, that this executive order would be similar to what they floated as a trial balloon around the State of the Union that never happened. It would limit who can actually claim asylum once they encounter Border Patrol at a point of entry. But again, we have no reason to think that this is definitely going to happen except for this report, because they have floated this. We don't know if this is just something where the political folks here want to put out the word that they are concerned about this issue, but it's just something that they are looking into down the line, because in this interview that just dropped last night, President Biden is talking about this piece of legislation, the bipartisan Senate legislation, as the best remedy for fixing problems at the border. The problem with that bill is it's not like officially dead, but it's never going to become the law. And so they keep talking about it as the best way to fix this huge thing that they admit is a problem now, but it's not realistic that that's ever going to make it to his desk. So they are looking at executive orders, and we'll see. We will see where they get with that. This is a president who knows that some of his bolder policy proposals are going to land him in court, but it didn't stop him when he wanted to float and put forward a student loan forgiveness plan that most of was struck down by the courts. It's unclear why he has not wanted to color outside the lines on the border yet, but it sounds like things have become such a political problem for them that they're going to try at the end of this month, according to Axios.
Well,
Maria?
I mean, it's 6 months before an election, so maybe that is why. But, Peter, you always ask the most obvious questions to Kareem Jean-Pierre. My question in all of this is, President Biden claims he's examining what kind of power he has to change things at the border. Does that mean he regrets overturning Donald Trump's security at the border when he walked into the White House in the first 2 weeks?
If he does, I don't think you'll ever hear him express regret or apologize, because that is like the number one rule of winning an election. Just don't apologize for anything and keep moving forward. And it sounds like they're going to at least try to create the impression that they are considering something new to address the border. But, Donald Trump and his allies, they want the border to be the number one policy issue of this election. It's going to have to be something huge that really makes a big difference that Biden and his allies here at the White House can do if they're going to essentially force Republicans to move on to something else.
Yeah, well, there's inflation and 40-year high inflation and the cost of goods, which is, of course, also quite important to voters. But, Peter, we're watching your work, of course, and we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you, sir.